This Easter, it's Good Basket
versus Bad Basket. Hang on for the
loop. 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Jamie, and it's Easter.
I have to be honest, this is my favorite episode to film all year.
Me too. Happy Easter, Loopsters.
Welcome to our big Easter episode.
Here on The Loop Show, we love a good Easter challenge. Easter is a celebration.
We're celebrating Jesus and the gift of grace we receive through his life, death, and resurrection.
If this is the first you've heard about the good news of Jesus, we are so glad you're here.
We had an Easter story we think you are going to love.
Let's kick it over to our friend, Caitlin.
Well, Easter is all about the story of God's grace. And we have been tracing grace all throughout the Bible. Today, we're going to talk about a guy named Peter. And this was a guy who knew Jesus personally. He walked with Jesus, he talked with Jesus, and yet he still ends up in need of Jesus's grace. Peter is a lot like most of us. And when I think of Peter, I think of this verse in Romans chapter 5, verse 8. It says, "But God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners." While we were still lost, while we were still broken, Jesus died for us. So as you watch Peter's story, I want you to look for the moments where you see Jesus showing grace.
My name is Peter, but it wasn't always Peter. My family called me Simon. My fellow fishermen called me Simon. I knew a lot of Simons. It was a pretty popular name. It means to listen. But it was Jesus who changed my name the very first time I met him. I was out fishing, and my brother Andrew came running up, telling me to come to meet the Messiah. So I left my fishing net, and I went with him. And I'll never forget, Jesus looked right at me, like he already knew me. And he said, "You are Simon. You will be called Peter." Peter. Now, that's not as popular as Simon. It's Greek for rock. Was this a challenge? Okay, rocks are solid, steady. Some people say I'm impulsive or a loudmouth, but I've always been pretty loyal. I don't think before I speak, but I know lots of fishermen like that. We're not always a polite bunch. But he not only changed my name, he invited me to come learn from him as a disciple. Here's Jesus, this Jewish teacher, this rabbi, picking me, giving me a chance to follow him. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So if this teacher says I'm a rock, then I'm a rock. I chose to follow him, to go all in. I left behind everything to be Peter, the rock. And I saw things that you wouldn't believe. I was right there in the middle of miracles. I saw people healed. I walked on water. I listened to Jesus ask questions, and I started asking questions. I mean, sometimes what I heard from my rabbi, Jesus, was hard to understand. I mean, it's also upside down. Sometimes I got it right. Like one day Jesus asked us, "Who do you say that I am?" And I knew the answer. I opened up my loud, loyal mouth and I said, "You are the Messiah. You're the Son of the living God." And Jesus blessed me. Sometimes I got it wrong. Jesus would talk about the future and he would tell us about his death. He said he would come back to life, but I didn't like all that death talk. And I told him so. I took him aside and I told him to knock it off, and he didn't like that. He said I was standing in his way, that I didn't know better, me and my big mouth. And I was there that night, at that last meal we all had together. It's tough to talk about, but I remember a lot of things from that night. I was talking a big game. We all were. I think at one point, I I even said something like, even if everyone else deserts you, I never will desert you. Because the thing was, he wasn't just my teacher. He was my friend. But he looked at me, just like he looked at me the first night he met me. Like he knew me, and he said, truly I tell you that this very night, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. I was so angry. I said I'd rather die than deny him. I'm like, remember me, Jesus? It's Peter, your rock. I mean, I'd rather die than deny the Son of the living God. But that was a long, long night. And he knew my story wasn't over.
For this year's Easter challenge, we are going to be playing Good Basket versus Bad Basket.
Some of these blocks have good or bad written on it.
This is a good basket filled with treats.
And this is a bad basket with a bunch of rotten eggs.
Now, each of us will be given one grace eggception that will save us from having to do something from the bad basket.
And whoever knocks over the tower has to face the giant no-no egg.
Let's go!
Okay, here we go. So let's see. Yes. Okay, let's see. It doesn't have anything.
Here you go.
It says bad.
Bad egg. All right, here we go.
No.
Catch an egg blindfolded. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't realize I was gonna get to throw the egg. Okay, just hold out your hand. I'm gonna try to make it in your hands. 1, 2, throw. Yes. No. Oh, I did it! Only one. Oh my gosh. No, I don't think that's a good idea.
Go for it.
There's nothing on it! This is why I don't play Jenga. I'm sweating. He got another bad egg. I feel like it's usually me. Bad egg, bad egg. Call a friend and what? Call a friend.
Call a friend and sing happy birthday, then hang up.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Are you gonna do it?
Yes.
Who are we calling?
I don't know yet. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yay, that was your sister, right?
Yes.
Oh. Oh no! Yell everything you say for the next 3 minutes. Okay, Ricky, your turn.
Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, which one are you gonna choose? That one looked good. Does it say anything? Does it say bad? It says bad, doesn't it?
Roll an egg across the floor using only your nose.
Heck yes. Wait, are you gonna use your grace egg?
I'm just
He's
gonna
gonna do it. He's
wait
gonna
for
do
it. Jamie, I'm going to roll with it.
Go, Ricky, go, Ricky. Get that egg across the floor. You're making good time. I like that you got your whole body involved in this. Your nose is killing it. Go, Ricky's nose. Yes, yes. We're gonna come back to this, but let's hear what happened in Peter's story next.
I did something so bad. I thought I broke the world. It was one of those life-changing, world-flipping, big mistakes that you instantly regret. It started when Jesus was arrested, and I certainly didn't want it to happen, and I tried to fight it. But he didn't want me to. We didn't know what to do, so we all scattered. All of his closest friends, we were angry and scared and aimless. And that's when it happened. My most shameful thing. There were all these people pointing me out. A servant girl, she recognized me as one of his followers, and I denied it. Then another person said that I was one of his followers, and I said I wasn't. Then a third person pointed me out, and I said, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Me and my big mouth. It's just they kept trying to tie me to Jesus. I could have been arrested too. So I said I didn't know him 3 times. And then I heard it, the rooster crowing just like he said it would. Jesus was right about everything. My denial, the predictions about his arrest, everything. And I knew exactly what was coming next because he told me what would happen next. His death. I don't think I've ever cried like that before. It hurt so bad. And it wasn't just shame I felt. I had no hope. It was all gone. My friend and grace and life and everything just gone. Jesus was dead. And then 3 days later, I'm standing in an empty tomb. A tomb where he was supposed to be. Completely empty. His body is gone. Death is gone. Every debt we ever owed as humans, gone. Jesus is alive. And it was a bit of a blur after that. I remember Jesus came to visit his disciples. He gave us peace and let us see his scars. And every time I saw him after his death, I couldn't help but wonder, was he mad at me for what I said on the night he was arrested? Could I ever gain his love or friendship after denying I was with him? Could I still call him Lord with such a troublesome mouth? I mean, what love is there for sinners like me? Right in front of me was the embodiment of grace. Jesus took the debt of my sin, and when he was resurrected, that defeated death. On my behalf, for all of us, God must really love us. But not me, right? I messed up too big, didn't I? Remember me, Jesus? It's Peter, the guy who said I wasn't with you 3 times. Could you ever forgive me?
Okay, let's see. You've gotten a lot of bad ones.
Don't rub it in, Jamie.
Sorry.
That was good.
Oh, you got a good one. Okay, cool.
This one.
Beautiful choice, beautiful.
It says, truth, what's an item you would want 200 of? Pizza?
Dollars.
Dollars! Dollars is great.
Oh my gosh, I did it! Oh, but it's bad.
Yeah.
Play your favorite song using the rubber chicken. Okay, here we go. Did you recognize it? You did.
Some of these.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Good! Truth, if you could have a sidekick animal that was always by your side, what animal would you choose? I think Garfield would be fun, especially if I could understand all of his inner thoughts. I could like read his little bubbles.
But that's good.
Good.
It's jelly beans.
Wow.
Oh, yum. Oh, this one's Tutti Frutti. Oh no.
Bad. Let's go with this one. Eat a spoonful of jelly beans? Okay.
Oh, but they provide you with the jelly beans. Oh, what are those? Oh, they're beans and jelly. Ooh. Are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna use the...
Oh, yes! I choose the grace exception!
I'm glad you don't have to eat it.
Oh.
I can't tell if it's like moving while I'm tapping it.
It is moving, Jamie.
You know how like people will grab a tablecloth and they'll rip it and then everything will stay on the table? Ah! Oh! Woo! It stayed for like a split second.
I thought it was gonna stay, Jamie.
Okay, when we get back, we're gonna see what that no-no egg is all about.
When I don't know what to do, I go fishing. It feeds my mind and my belly. After Jesus' resurrection, some of us went out fishing all night, and we didn't catch anything. Then the next morning, we got up, and we see this guy on the shore, and he yells out, like, "Caught anything?" And we're like, "No." And he's like, "Well, try the right side of your boat." And our nets are full, overflowing. And someone in our boat recognizes that guy on the shore is Jesus. And I didn't wait for us to row back to shore. I jumped in the water and I swam to him because I wanted to talk. We had breakfast together, and it was our 3rd time seeing him since he had been raised from the dead. I was working up the courage to ask him if he could ever forgive me for denying him. But before I could say anything, Jesus said, "Do you love me, Peter?" And I said, "Of course I do, Lord." He said, "Feed my sheep." And then he asked me again, "Peter, do you love me?" And I said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." And he said, "Take care of my sheep." A third time he asked if I loved him, and I said, "You know all things, so you must know that I love you." And again, he says, "Feed my sheep." 3 times I denied him, and 3 times he asked me to feed his sheep. I'm a fisherman, not a shepherd. It took me a minute to get what Jesus was doing. He was restoring me. He was taking away my shame and giving me a mission to look after his flock, his people. It was like he was saying, "Remember me, Peter? It's Jesus. I am the risen Messiah, Son of the living God, God's grace given for everyone." And on that beach, after breakfast, Jesus gave me grace so that I can share it with others. And that's what I do now. The early church is just getting off the ground, so I spread the good news of Jesus' message. I write when I can. I try to share the lessons I learned from being beside Jesus for so much of his ministry. I speak to people who remind me of me when I was younger. And I find myself writing about things like respecting authority figures and how to live for God. Things I wish I knew at that age. I tell everyone I meet that whatever you're worried about, whatever you care so much about, you can trust God with it. He cares for you. He really does love us so much. And I know firsthand what that care looks like. Now, I'm not perfect. Me and my big mouth, I mess up, but guess what? There's so much grace and love and real life to find when you follow Jesus. My advice, go all in. And someday when I die and I get to see him again, I can't wait to say, "Remember me, Jesus? It's Peter, your friend, your follower, your rock."
Jesus is alive, and that means that we can receive the free gift of his grace, just like Peter did in this story. God's grace changed Peter's life, and I believe it can change yours too. Remember Romans 5:8, how it said this, "But God showed his great love for us by sending Jesus Christ to die for us while we were still sinners." While we were still sinners. See, we all needed something. We were all broken. We were all still lost. And then Jesus came and he did what we could not. He lived a perfect life, died the death that we deserved, and then rose from the grave 3 days later, defeating sin and offering us a brand new life in him. When you receive grace from Jesus, then you can start to show his grace to others.
Bring out that giant no-no egg.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, and what is that? It's strawberries, but I don't know what kind of strawberries.
Take a bite. Take a bite.
What is that?
Let's eliminate.
Okay. Woo-wee! It's extremely sour.
Oh.
I guess it's sour strawberries. Almost got it.
I will try one, Jamie. Ah!
Yeah.
Ooh!
I had 3.
Jamie!
I had 3.
My cheek muscle!
Get out of here, no-no egg!
Peter's story is just one of the many stories you'll find reading the Bible.
And if you'd like more tips on how to read the Bible, we've got lots of videos on our channel that can help.
This Easter, we hope you know just how much God loves you.
Jesus is alive!
That is the good news of the gospel.
You get grace, we get grace, everybody gets grace.
Thank you so much for spending Easter with us.
Happy Easter, Loopsters.
And until next time, enjoy the ride!